too close to me or not.
Yeah. And if he is too close, what would you do?
We're going to turn right.
We're going to turn right.
I'll slow down a bit earlier to give him more time to react.
That's right, yeah. Because if you didn't and you have to suddenly stop, what would be the consequence of that?
Well, he'd run in the back of me and he'd probably push me onto the
So what are you going to do now here,
I'm
Tony?
going to check my mirror and I'm going to stop. And I know I've got to stop at the line there.
That's it, well done. And they've gone now, so we can carry on. Why is it important that you stop in the correct place?
Because if I stop on the crossing and I get a partially sighted guide dog,
Yeah.
it might lead the blind person onto the crossing.
That's right. What about if you're too far away from the crossing and you stop too far?
I suppose people might get confused, mightn't they? They might just think I'm parking or something.
Yeah. And what's the most likely thing someone will do if they think you've stopped?
Overtake me.
Yeah. What would be the consequence of them overtaking you and there's someone crossing?
They wouldn't see the pedestrians and the pedestrians wouldn't see them.
Yeah, so it's important that you stop where again, Tony?
If I'm the first vehicle at the giveaway or the stop line, isn't it?
Yeah. What are you going to check?
I'll check my route. Well, I just scanned across and there was nobody anywhere near
Yeah.
them.
You were going a good slow speed.
And we're going to turn right and right, so it's double roundabout. Right at the first one, right at the
We're
second
going
one.
to turn right and then right again. So are you going to signal again?
Yeah, signal right
Yeah.
there. And then I'll go around the front corner.
No, cancel your signal there for me,
Alright.
Tony. Remember we talked about in the beginning about the unnecessary
No, I
signals?
remember that. I've got a signal to come back in.
Yeah, no, we don't need to signal to come back in because there's loads of gaps here. People are going to think we're doing what if we're signalling left?
I don't know.
They're going to think we're going to pull up.
Alright.
Yeah, so if they think we're going to pull up, what's the most likely thing they'll do? They're behind us.
They'll go past me, won't they?
Yeah, they'll try and overtake you. You're carrying on then, and they're trying to overtake you.
Well, surely it's helpful by indicating to go round it, though, isn't it?
No, because it's a misleading signal. You don't. Your road position.
Yeah, I suppose if I indicate around this car here now, they might think I'm
That's it. Yep.
yeah.
Turning in there. There could be a drive.
Knock me over with a feather. I'm so stupid, am I?
No, you're not stupid at all. It's easily done. There could be a drive there. Someone thinks you're going to turn into the drive, so they'll stop for you, and you're just going to be a bit of a nuisance then, aren't you? You keep signalling around every car.
I'm sure years ago when I learned to drive, my instructor made me signal around everything.
Probably, but it can be misleading. So your road position alone should be a signal of where you're going. Why is it important not to signal as you're passing the vehicles left?
Because it's misleading. If I signal to go round them, they might think I'm turning into these side roads.
Yeah,
And if I signal to come back in, they might just think I'm parking, wouldn't they?
yeah. What would be the danger of them thinking you're going to park?
They might just go round me, wouldn't they? Overtake me.
But you won't be stopping, will you? You'll be carrying on.
But I am signalling, really. I am signalling to go round the cars, really, am I?
With what? Sorry. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. If you're
No, I mean, I am actually using a form of signal, am I?
with your position.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't need to put the indicator on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm saying if they think you're parking and they go to overtake you and you're not parking, you're carrying on, they're going to look at you.
Oh, I'm going to stop on
I'm going to stop on the left. They're going to get annoyed and possibly you might drive them into an oncoming car.
Ah. Okay.
Okay.
So, am I going to pass this assessment next week then?
Well, I think that you showed me that you understand.
Why don't you shut the question back at me?
Oh, right, sorry.
Yeah, if you shut the question back at me, then you put the pressure on me, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did I learn today?
So what did you learn today, Tony?
Oh, I learned quite a lot. I learned that I don't have to keep sticking this indicator on every time and move away.
Yeah.
Unless there's anybody coming towards me, like a pedestrian or a vehicle is going to benefit.
Yeah.
I learned it's important to indicate in good time, and so people have got time to react. I learned that I must indicate to turn left and right, because as you explained, if a pedestrian is standing anywhere near the corner, I haven't got an indicator on, they might cross the road in front of me, mightn't they?
Mhm. What would be the consequence of that?
I might run him over, mightn't I?
Yeah. What about with the pedestrian crossings? Because you weren't very.
Yeah,
confident.
yeah. I learned the importance of stopping in the right place. That I don't encroach on the crossing. I learned about them zigzags as well, didn't I?
Yeah.
Which I meant to read up about last night, but I fell asleep. Yeah, I learned I mustn't park on the zigzags either side of the crossing.
That's right.
Because I block people's view. And I learned I mustn't overtake unless it's a cyclist.
Mhm.
And the cyclist not stopped at the crossing.
Yep.
Yeah, I learned quite a bit.
Well, that's good. Do you feel
Yeah.
more confident with that now?
Yeah, I know about these safe havens now, and I know that it's important not to stop at them unless the pedestrian steps out on the crossing.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I learned quite a bit.
And what's the most important thing that you learned that your wife told you that you could do?
Oh yeah, I was just about to come to that. I'll come to that out road in a second. I'm not going to criticise my wife on video.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, yeah. That was the only bit I had to really push you on, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's really important about this beckoning at crossings, isn't it? Yeah, you got everything else in quite well, but it was covered, and probably if I had a chance to do it, I might have used it though. If you hadn't,
Yeah.
I gave you lifeline there, but it was the only lifeline I had to give you, really. Yeah, you started to talk about the zigzag at one point.
I stopped then because then we were on it and I didn't want you to.
Yeah, while you're actually talking about something, I won't go and, while you're giving me information that I need, I won't go and jump in and do something stupid. Yeah?
Okay.
I will
right.
give you a chance to finish.
I
yeah?
was panicked about that. So
Yeah, but the danger is that you start, and then I had to remind you later on that you did start a conversation about the zigzags, but then it kind of tailed off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can, you can finish because I will be listening to you at that stage. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. That was very, very good. Very good. That old gob's working really well today, isn't it? Yeah. And as you can see by just getting in there, if you remember when we done this yonks ago, I think it was the first time I took you out. First time I took you and Barry out.
Mhm.
I was chucking the questions at you, yeah?
Yeah.
I was having to do all the bloody work while you were sitting back there and just, yeah? But since then you've gone back and you've had a look at your highway code and you thought, yeah, I can see where he's coming from now, yeah?
Yeah.
So now you're getting in with the questions, yeah?
Yeah.
So apart from the beckoning of the pedestrians...
No, you did ask me one other thing which I was a little bit lost on. You said to me that you were stuck at the red lights for ages.
Yeah, it was just, we came down to the, most traffic lights at an intersection nowadays have got a built-in pedestrian element here.
Yeah.
And you can spot it by the fact it's got a box on the side, yeah?
Yeah.
Traffic lights don't have boxes on the side normally, do they?
No. Just pole.
But when it's at an intersection, you'll nearly always find that it has got a pedestrian element built in, and you can spot it by the fact that boxes are there, yeah?
Yeah.
And that's what I was going with about.
Yeah, I know, and I realised then you meant about the box, but then I kind of was a bit lost because you said, oh, I was there for ages and ages, no one was there.
Yeah, well, nobody. What I said to you was that nobody was moving. The lights were on red, and I couldn't understand why I was sitting there waiting because the traffic on my left and my right wasn't moving.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah,
So that was just the point you was making.
Yeah, so,
really.
So obviously the pedestrian element had kicked in, yeah, and that's why I was waiting, and the traffic on my left and right was waiting as well, yeah. So we were both actually stopped on the red, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
What about the signals bit?
Yeah, very good. Very well handled. You spotted them all. You got a really good question to begin with, right at the beginning.
What about the necessary signal?
Yeah, about me indicating the pull away.
Yeah.
And obviously then I played up with that a little bit just immediately after that we were turning right. and I wasn't going to indicate for the right hand turn, yeah?
Mhm.
But you spotted it, you dealt with it. No, it was very, very good. Very, very good. Yeah? I'd have had very little chance to do to do anything wrong there. Just don't forget the old beckoning of the pedestrians, yeah? That is one that they can really play around with, yeah? It's really, really important because if it doesn't happen and you don't mention it, they will bring it up. And the scenario I use is the one I've heard used quite a bit. But on a busy day like today, I was really surprised I never got a chance to do it. But you have to remember, I can't do it if there's anybody behind me because I have to bear it.
For the very reason why you're not meant to do it, yeah.
Yeah, but I could just start playing around little finger behind the door pillar, yeah?
Yeah.
And obviously, if you spot me doing that, then you're going to have to deal with it, yeah?
Yeah.
So we're getting in and asking me, what would I do? I might give you the right answer, I might give you the wrong answer. Doesn't mean to say I'm not going to try and do it. So when you do see pedestrians in the vicinity, and what are you not going to do here? Oh yeah, I'm not going to beckon them across, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So don't forget, once you because you've mentioned it just once, don't think, oh, I've covered that, he's not going to do that now.
Yeah, no.
I will, yeah?
Yeah, I think I was starting, unlike 2 weeks ago when we did this, I think I was starting to remember that I've got to keep asking you things. I know I probably didn't do it to the full potential that I could have done, but I think I was more on the ball with it than last
No,
time.
very much on the ball. You're probably finding now that it's not, the subject we do doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah? You got the tools now, it doesn't, this is what, being an instructor is all about, is to use them tools. It doesn't matter what the subject we're doing, really.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason we're running through the subjects is obviously, so you get a chance to pick out the red and amber areas.
Yeah.
And see that you're dealing with them. But you can see, we've just been through, two quite complex subjects, crossroads are phase 2, and pedestrian crossings are phase 2, and use of signals. And the tools are all the same, and it's just a matter of getting in there, knowing your hallway code, knowing your theory stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
And remembering it and make sure that I know it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you check that kind of knowledge, then you won't go far wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Okay.
Well, we'll give that a pause.